I'd like to invite Gina Czarnecki, who's going to talk about Koffin with a K. Now, she doesn't say it's Koffin with a K, but I say Koffin with a K, because otherwise I get confused with a curly C. So here it is, Koffin.
Well, you know how you think you come prepared to talk about something and everything else blows you away? You no longer can feel you can talk about it. But I chose to show this slide first, and I show this because of art washing and the value of art and the value of ideas that goes unrecognised to people who are working creatively. So we kind of populate buildings, revamp them, they get sold on as luxury student housing. Meanwhile, artists are working with ideas, and it's through a quarter of a century of working on art projects that I finally came to realise that I don't actually no longer believe in just making work for the art-going public. I actually wanted to make it about and for people. And when my dad died 20 years ago, we buried him in an MDF piece of Victorian bullshit that said nothing about him. He's a survivor of a concentration camp. He had a colourful life. And I felt that that was exploitation of people's most vulnerable. And 5 years ago, a friend of mine said she'd put money behind the bar for her death, but didn't design a coffin, so I made her a big fuck-off 6 by 2 foot winged sphinx out of papier-mâché. And whilst doing that, I thought, well, I'm not a sculptor, it wasn't that great. This should be available for everybody. So I went on a journey of trying to find a material and a process that was mass-producible so everybody could have that benefit of being able to design and make something themselves. But also, it's financially proven, as well as we all know, that making something makes you feel better. If you combine all those things together, that in the most corrupt industry we probably have, where there's oligopoly, two companies that dictate. That's the sculpture I made. I'm proud of it. But she put it in the garden and it increased her social life by 50%. I made quarter-scale prototypes about 3 years ago, and it's due to the Arts Council of England, who supported me, even though it was a kind of pseudo-business becoming a real business, because to provoke it was worse than not doing anything. I found a material that's based on lignin, which is the second most abundant natural material in the world. It's like tree bark. You mix that with plant cellulose, you get this kind of biopolymer, which is a new kind of plastic that's not plastic. 100% biodegradable, natural, really strong. We made this design that's an oval that can fit on a car roof rack. We went through lots of testing because it's a very new material and all the... Anyhow, we came up with the final coffins, which are shown at the Oratory, which is a first stage prototype. What we're trying to do is design them in a way where they're the best design, the best for purpose. And I could go into details about how we're 80% water, and if you put that into a basket with holes in it, it doesn't quite work. But it's really about, we put a call out for people to design their own coffin. And the Oratory was really what I thought was my artwork, but it actually wasn't. It was curating 20 other artists with their own work, which I've never done before, to make a 13.5 kilo coffin like that, which is stackable. It's the most versatile, usable, 17%, I feel like I've learnt this, 17% ash residue. You wouldn't believe it. It broke at 27 stone, and this is a 3mm thick, 13.5 kilo thing. So now we're kind of looking at trying to take an artwork, an art idea, into a product to support artists in the community, because I've been kind of really strict. A lot of people are here who've been employed through this project, and it's about employing artists and ideas in the community, manufacturing locally. They're made in the north of England, and it's a material where only I use it, and it's only through the exhibition. This is LJMU working in partnership with me with a 3D Fab Lab, and what was supposed to be a glorious sphinx looked to me like a chicken with a cat's head on it. There you go. But the woman whose it was loved it. But it's really about keeping it local, employing artists, and the value of ideas. And I go back to the first slide, was if we don't appreciate the value of ideas and the people who actually generate them, then why is our biggest GDP through the creative economy? Why are all the property developers advancing on the basis of the ideas driven by the creative community? And that we actually need to make a stance and take credit for the value of ideas and what those ideas can do to people who want to make their last kind of farewell, because making something makes you feel better. That's it.